Welcome to Multiverse Masters. This is my walkthrough example for the best practices discussion. Here is the landing zone for Multiverse Masters, and you are greeted with an informational board. And if you look around quickly, you have a number of options of engagement. So if you walk over to here, you may also enter it through the hypergrid. So this is also where you would enter through the hypergrid. And the trainee that's speaking right now is a scripted chatbot, but the child safety officer says, go beyond the garden wall to the resource center. This safety officer says to enter the moon base, walk through the stars, keep it clean, fun, I'll be watching you. It kind of sets the mood for a family safe environment. So if people aren't comfortable being in a place where there might be younger audiences or family members, then that kind of gives them an idea. And in this direction is where the gameplay for the moon base is. But for the best practices discussion, we would actually walk over to the resource center. Now, as we go over here, of course, this is mailbox control. And it says, feel free to drop a note in the mailbox. And that is our mailbox right there. There's no new mail. And right away, to make sure that we can be comfortable, we can quickly adjust the settings, and now we have a nice bright day for our discussion. Now, as people come before or after the discussion, they'll have an opportunity to explore, and it's really their choice whether they want to explore before the discussion or after, and they'll find lots of resources about. This was a freebie that I picked up and copied for Blender tutorials. It's just something that educators may want to experience or even copy and take back to their own creations. Here's like scripting examples, gaming examples, storyboard examples, and of course there's also NPC examples. Best practices discussion. There's some minor examples I picked up along the way of different things, and you follow the talking path to the best practices discussion area. So basically, we would come here and everyone would have a seat. I'd be probably standing in the middle. All right, let's stand. So I can actually have a couple displays up. For example, with double slides. So that way it's going to help promote best practices and discussion. And then the questions and topics of interest from the participants will also lead the discussion and overview. Probably in that slideshow, rather than having people walk around if they don't get a chance to explore prior to the discussion, then that will show the highlights of some of the best practices that I've learned as I've explored the virtual world for education over the past year. And of course, here's more resources, information. This is another possibility of putting up a presentation. And these are links to support websites and support YouTube site, as well as the Wapoli website, and more opportunities to communicate through the mailbox. There's also excellent resources like the new Metaverse libraries. So I brought their stand in here. There's the different resources, different slideshows of past and present Multiverse Masters projects. There's other examples like the Resmela. You've got some video that you can watch of the YouTube videos, and they also have best practices and ideas. You've got discussion areas. So over here is another little area you can gather for the Wapoli website and have other discussions. And of course, this is an example of a simulation in progress. So there's going to be lots of little examples of how to use the virtual world and the different best practices for that. And I can give a quick slideshow presentation of these major areas, and then do the question and answer session for the best practices discussion.